But bottom line on nuclear weapons is that when the president gives the order, it must be followed. There's about 4 minutes between the order being given and the people responsible for launching nuclear weapons to do so.
Hillary Clinton, during the final presidential debate with Donald Trump, accused the Russians of espionage and said Vladimir Putin is hacking American websites to influence the election in favor of Donald Trump.
The Russian government has engaged in espionage against Americans. They have hacked American websites, American accounts of private people, of institutions. Then they have given that information to WikiLeaks for the purpose of putting it on the internet. This has come from the highest levels of the Russian government, clearly from Putin himself, in an effort, as 17 of our intelligence agencies have confirmed, to influence our election.
Meanwhile, the Obama administration is contemplating a cyber attack against Russia in retaliation for what they say is Russian interference in our election process. I don't buy it. And don't forget, it was Hillary Clinton during a recent campaign stop who said that she would respond to any cyber attacks by Russia with military action.
You've seen reports. Russia's hacked into a lot of things. China's hacked into a lot of things. Russia even hacked into the Democratic National Committee. Maybe even some state election systems. So we've got to step up our game. Make sure we are well defended and able to take the fight to those who go after us. As president, I will make it clear that the United States will treat cyber attacks just like any other attack. We will be ready with serious political, economic, and military responses.
Donald Trump says getting along with Putin would be a good thing. I mean, who the hell would want to risk nuclear war, right? And let me tell you something. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama better be very, very careful right now, because all this talk about war with Russia is extremely dangerous, and it puts all of our lives at serious risk.
One of Vladimir Putin's most powerful supporters, a man who just won big in a parliamentary election in Russia, makes a menacing prediction. Vladimir Zhirinovsky, an ultra-nationalist firebrand who now leads Russia's third biggest party, warns Americans about their votes.
They're voting for peace on planet Earth if they vote for Trump. But if they vote for Hillary, it's war. If Hillary Clinton wins, it will be the last U.S. president ever.
Look, Putin, from everything I see, has no respect for this person.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
It's pretty clear you won't admit that the
puppet.
Russians have engaged in cyber attacks against the United States of America, that you encouraged espionage against our people, that you are willing to spout the Putin line, sign up for his wish list, break up NATO, do whatever he wants to do, and that you continue to get help from him because he has a very clear favorite in this race.
Look, she's been proven to be a liar on so many different ways. This is just another lie.
Now, I want to make it perfectly clear. There is zero evidence that Russia is planning to steal the election for Donald Trump by launching a cyber attack against the United States. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous, and it's not going to happen. Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Clinton, well, they have formally accused the Russian government of trying to influence our elections by teaming up with Julian Assange and WikiLeaks and releasing to the public private stolen emails from the Hillary campaign that exposes Hillary for the evil, dishonest, corrupt, two-faced criminal liar that she truly is. WikiLeaks also exposes election fraud, but not by the Russians, by the Clinton campaign. Oh, and by the way, it's not a conspiracy theory when you have proof. And the only way Hillary can respond to the avalanche of evidence that's against her right now is to accuse Russia and Donald Trump for the very same crimes she is committing herself. So she pretends to be mad at Russia and says they are trying to manipulate our elections because WikiLeaks has exposed that she is trying to rig the election. I mean, it is straight out of the Saul Alinsky handbook. Blame your enemy for the crimes that you commit yourself. And now we have even more evidence of widespread planning and scheming for voter fraud by the Clinton campaign. And this time, rather than stolen emails, we have hidden camera footage from the heroes at Project Veritas. The Clinton campaign caught in the act, discussing ways to commit voter fraud on a massive scale. Hillary, you are busted.
Last night, when we were brought up by Donald Trump at the debates, it was one small step for my team and one giant leap for citizen journalism. I mean, what you saw in the last 48 hours, Twitter, by the way, removed me, then reinstated me. We were trending on Twitter. We're the #1 trending video on YouTube worldwide. We're the #1 trending thing on Facebook over the last 24 hours. What you are seeing is something I never thought I would say. You are seeing social media and the grassroots in this country more powerful than the mainstream media. We are the social media barbarians at the gates, and we have inundated their inboxes. The New York Times is now forced to cover it. The Washington Post was forced to cover it. We are the barbarians at the gates, and we have flooded the mainstream media with interest and attention, and we have become more powerful than the mainstream media. It's truly historical. I've talked about this before, but I've never actually seen it. Last night, Alex, when I was on I was at the debate, and I walked into the press pool, and there were 5,000 reporters, almost like a red carpet at the Oscars, and they all knew who I was, and they all knew about the story, and not one of them wanted to talk to me or talk about it.
Because they weren't reporters, they were repeaters. You were the only man, the only journalist really in the arena.
They did not want to talk about it, and I also looked at them, and I didn't know what to say. I said, guys, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. It was truly historical situation for Veritas, and I'm just so proud of my team. It took us a year, transcripts and filming and a year of investigative work. But to see these guys resign, the heart and soul of the Democratic Party, that guy, Bob Creamer, was not some low-level guy. He met with the president 47 times. He went to the White House 340 times. He has now resigned. Hillary Clinton is being asked about it. And the second video was about how they were busting up people across state lines, how they wanted to commit illegal voter fraud with non-citizens. A guy named Cesar Vargas caught on videotape describing how they bust people. The quotes, you can't write them. They look like they're from The Usual Suspects. The guy in the video says, we don't care about the law. We want to win this mother effer. Quote, we've been busting people across state lines for 50 years. You can't make this stuff up. And social media has forced the mainstream media to cover this. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. It's the #1 hottest thing. It's become a global video phenomenon. And Twitter tried to ban me. Jack Dorsey tried to ban me. And another thing, Alex, this is unbelievable. We had television exclusives lined up with the biggest media television stations, and they all spiked the story. My sources are telling me because they faced retaliation and retribution from a future Clinton administration. And they now are forced to cover it because its groundswell has risen and up. So I don't know what else to say except that this is historical, and I could not have done it without all of you. It is something that I've never seen before, Alex. The media is losing control over the people. When the media loses control over the people, they panic, they get irrational, they viciously attack, they assault my reputation, they have to do damage control. And what you saw was citizen journalism groundswell up to the top and force people to talk about it in the presidential debate, which in turn forced the media corporations, which don't want to talk about it because they face retribution from the Justice Department. And I had, by the way, Alex, I'm not going to say who they were because I promised them I wouldn't, but I had people who you perceive to be friendly to us in the big leagues, the big TV stations, come up to me and say, James, I went to war for you. I went to war for you with my corporation. And I wanted to get you on TV. They won't let me put you on TV. That is how bad it is. That is what more likely.
Well, exactly. Let's remember that. As bad as Dinosaur Media is, there's actually a lot of good people in there.
There are some good people. There are some one or two decent people. But they pulled me aside. They huddled me on the red carpet last night, and they said, James, I went to war for you. They will not let me put you on television. Because, Alex, the way it works is these are publicly traded media companies. These are publicly traded corporations. And if they air this stuff, that people in the White House...
It's over. Hillary will have to step down.
If they air this stuff, the election's over.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on this the last few months. You probably noticed I've been more crazed, more focused, less brain fog, more energy, more special reports, and it's because of Brain Force.
We kept changing this formula over and over and over again until it became sort of a grand puzzle. This just increases the compounds you already have.
This is what you're actually designed to run on. You will find Brain Force, Survival Shield X2, and other game-changing products at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.